Just to recap from the last time we watched this too, before we go into to see how deranged this dude is. Last time, what was he saying? He was saying that anti-ICE protests were fundamentalist terrorism or something. Like this is Andrew Cuomo's little bro. He's just like he's just like outright fascist. It's just open fascism. And it's like this is, the center of the political spectrum. In, if this guy's supposed to be both on CNN and apparently on his new channel, whatever, they consider themselves to be centrist or something, but they're just outright fascists. It's hilarious. And yeah, it's in the context of Andrew Cuomo trying to prove himself as the real opponent, the real one that Trump is scared of, even though a bunch of billionaires who back Trump are also backing Andrew Cuomo. It's pretty funny to see his little brother just like fully doing, pro Trump, pro MAGA type rhetoric at the same time that his brother's trying to run for New York mayor and pretend he's gonna be a big scary guy to Trump. And yeah, you can see that in this day and age, Chris Cuomo has no smoke for Trump, no smoke for the regime, no smoke for any Republicans or any establishment Democrats. He has smoke for AOC because surely we can all agree that many of America's problems are directly the fault of one congressperson. Anyway, let's just let's just watch this stupid thing.
So as you all know, Andrew Cuomo got humiliated.
Oh, Kyle's on vacation, so his audio's rough. That's okay. I know how it be.
In his race for the Democratic primary for New York City mayor. He was beaten by Zohran Mamdani, who worked his ass off and basically destroyed that old guard politics. Andrew Cuomo was acting like he was entitled. Like he was entitled to be the mayor of New York City. It looked like he didn't even want to be campaigning. He didn't even want to be running. He was just like, everybody shut up and give me the office, right? Well, here's Chris Cuomo, Andrew's brother, and clearly he is furious and butthurt over the fact that his brother
is so
lost.
Funny.
And so now he's taking it all out on AOC. He's going after AOC.
How much smoke this weird Gen X freak has for AOC is hilarious to me. What is he? He needs a home. He needs to find a home. I think he doesn't. I think spiritually and mentally and psychologically, this guy doesn't have a home.
Because AOC, of course, along with Bernie Sanders, they endorsed Zohran, and he probably looks at that like, oh, that may be the reason Zohran got over the edge. It's not. I think Zohran wouldn't have been able to win without the support of Bernie, without the support of AOC, but I love that Bernie and AOC came in and supported him. And so now he's having the meltdown of all meltdowns, and this is quite humiliating because everybody knows why he's saying what he's saying here and doing what he's doing. Let's watch.
How do you keep them from having the nuke? Impeach Trump?
He's talking about Iran right here.
Opposite of having a better idea. You're killing your party. You're killing your party. And look, I hope it works out for you. I hope you guys splinter off and become, whatever you really are. Because you're not a capitalist and you're not a Democrat. And, you can say, well, what do you know? I was raised by a real one.
Oh, he's got a rude awakening coming, doesn't he? He's got a rude awakening coming. Bro, okay, now it's our time. The neoliberals have had their shot. They've run this country into the ground. They've run the party into the ground. And now the real ones are stepping up and stepping in. And it's our time to define what it means to be a Democrat. We're going back to the roots of FDRism. And here he is. Oh, you got to want to go to war with Iran. That's how you're a real Democrat. You got to love capitalism. That's how you're a real Democrat. Fuck off.
Go ahead and criticize Mario Cuomo.
He was way to the left of you, way to the left of Andrew. In fact, he was a fire-breathing lefty at the time. That's how he was viewed. You guys are a disgrace to your father. Your father's rolling over in his grave looking at you two.
It's going to be your biggest insult. That he spawned me and Andrew? Is that going to be the best you have? Because you ain't shit compared to him.
It would be cool if Mario Cuomo was still alive. It would be kind of funny. Just like seeing, his reaction to Cuomo having to resign in disgrace from governor and then trying to become mayor again. Pretty funny. It's still pretty funny that Andrew Cuomo says the whole sexual assault thing was what Trump propaganda or something, even though it was Biden who gave who gave the order for him to resign.
Not in terms of intelligence, not in terms of success, not in terms of pedigree, not in terms of philosophy, not in terms of mission, not in terms of eloquence, not in terms of charisma, not
What?
in terms of anything. Certainly not electability.
My
AOC is is less charismatic than Mario Cuomo? Dude, I think this is really hard cope. I think this is really hard cope.
daddy! My daddy! It's my daddy! What about my daddy?
What does pedigree even mean? Is that just a racist dog whistle? Like, we came from rich Italians, you came from poor Browns. Like, what does that even mean, dude?
My daddy's better than you! My daddy! Again, the irony is, Mario Cuomo would support AOC way more than Chris and Andrew do. There's no doubt about it.
You are killing your party because you are not a real one. Because you're doing what's good for you in a vacuum. With your little social media following, you're no different than a pod bro.
You're literally a pod bro! You are literally a pod bro.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
To no one. Why are you the arbiter and the gatekeeper of all that is a Democrat? I got news for you. If you look at the polls, they are solidly with AOC and Bernie and Zohran.
Yeah, I was about to say, also, what's so funny about this is that AOC is like the most popular Democrat politician, like Democratic voters like AOC, even like the normie Democrat voters, they like her more than any other politician. So everything he's saying is just like completely detached from reality, which is very, very podcast bro of him, I have to say.
And me. It's not even close, dude. It's not even close. So, for example, raising the minimum wage, overwhelmingly popular. Universal health care, Medicare for all, overwhelmingly popular. Free college, overwhelmingly popular. Raising taxes on the wealthy and redistributing and making our social safety net stronger, overwhelmingly popular. End the corruption, overwhelmingly popular. No war with Iran, overwhelmingly popular. Against Israel, overwhelmingly popular. And here you are playing the gatekeeper role. Who are you? You're a meathead fail brother of a failed politician. Fuck off, bro. Jesus Christ. By the way, remind me why he got fired from CNN again? What was it that he was covering for his brother as his brother was like murdering grandmas and grandpas in New York City because he was, excuse me, sending COVID positive patients back into nursing homes where it would rip through and like murder the people in there? You should be hiding in shame, bro. What are you doing? And this is what happens, by the way, when you hang out a little bit too much with the PBD assholes. You get PBD brainworm.
And Democrats better wake the fuck up and realize that you're better than this. Be with the 80, not the 20.
That's so ironic because the 80 are with us. He's not done yet. He's got more for us.
By going after Trump right now for what he did in Iran when you don't have Congress, you don't have the numbers, you may have a legal basis, but you're not sophisticated enough to make that case. All you're doing is showing you're on the wrong side of protecting your constituents from the #1 national security threat.
What a joke. He's saying Iran. What? Okay, number one, Iran's not building a nuke. Iran
is a national security threat?
They're not an imminent threat to
world?
attack Cleveland, you dipshit. Very clearly, Israel and the U.S.
Iran is going to invade New York?
We are the baddie.
What are we talking about?
Israel is literally doing a genocide right now, and you can't see that perhaps they're the unhinged ones? They're bombing Lebanon and Syria and Gaza, and now they're taking over the West Bank, and they bombed Iran. 5 places they're bombing.
It's crazy to me. Like, I thought Chris Cuomo was like, I'm centrist, I'm independent. That's why all I say is fascist stuff. But he's like pretending to be a Democrat. He's saying like, oh, AOC, you can't be a Democrat. Unlike me, a fascist. It's like, okay. Like, I would say I'm scared. Like, I would say that it worries me that, like, the Overton window is, like, basically anything that's not fascist is, like, communist extremism or something at this point in the States. But, like, I just think that these arguments, like, I don't think these will sell. I don't think people will, like, buy any of this. Like, people are already past this. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Maybe they're just fucking them. Like, I think they're overplaying their hand, to use an overused expression. I think they're going way too hard when, like, no, they don't really have, like, any kind of public support for this kind of thing.
and you're looking at it like, oh, that must be defensive. Like, what is going on in your head, bro? Do you have one of those little monkeys that like clings together the instruments, right? Like they just sit there, ding, ding, ding. Is that what's going on in your brain? What is wrong with you?
That's what AOC is doing. And look, we get the performative nature of it, right?
Oh, you want to talk about performative. You.
Says you're a fucking idiot. And she claps back. You betrayed the American people. Now, here's the problem with that statement. Trump isn't the one who betrayed the American people, not when it comes to this operation in Iran.
So a president waging an illegal and offensive strike against a country that didn't attack us, that's not betraying the American people. That is literally, directly unconstitutional. This is a guy who half the time on the campaign trail talked about no new wars, no new wars. I'm the anti-war candidate. I'm the peace candidate. And then he wages an illegal and offensive strike against a country that wasn't going to attack us and wasn't building a nuke. And you say that's not betrayal, and you have the nerve to lecture us about...
I also just want to say, like, AOC... Like, Chris Cuomo's acting like AOC is single-handedly handcuffing the U.S. military, and all of our bases will fall abroad because AOC is tweeting or something like that. Like, she has no... This is so deranged to me because there's no, like, theory of change or, like, there's no understanding of, like, how... And it's, you know, it's intentional, but it's... The propaganda is so stupid on the face of it because, like, how are you going to blame whatever is happening? How are you going to blame it on AOC? Like, how does that even make sense? Like, what is your theory of, like, oh yeah, if AOC just goes away, we'll bomb Iran? Okay? How? Why? That's not... but, you know, besides the fact that, like, 80% of Americans don't want this war, you know, it's why I think this kind of thing just won't land, because it's just so stupid.
What it means to be a Democrat? What a joke. What a sick joke. What a sick joke. I'm so tired of this grift, guys. I'm so tired of I'm going to sit on my show and say right-wing thing after right-wing thing after right-wing thing. But also, as I do that, I'm going to pretend like I'm the real lefty, I'm the real Democrat, I'm the real liberal. How many times we've seen it with Jimmy Dore, we've seen it with Russell Brand, we've seen it with Dave Rubin. Like, this shit is so tired. Just fucking tattoo it on your forehead. I'm a right-wing cuck. Just tattoo, because that's what you are. Why are you playing hide the ball? I can't stand people who are dishonest like this, bro. Just say what you are and stand on it. But he can't. He's got to do this stupid media game where it's like, I'm the most
If Andrew Cuomo wasn't trying to get back into Democratic politics, Chris Cuomo 100% would already be like an outright, like an open Trump supporter. I mean, he is an open Trump supporter. He just won't admit it. The only reason he won't say it, he's playing hide the ball because he doesn't want to give Andrew Cuomo any more baggage than the guy. Although I would say, like, your brother is a Republican is not like in the top 100, you know, skeletons in Andrew Cuomo's closet. So, or like out of the closet at this point, most of them are public knowledge, right? So I think I think it's also just like hilariously, it's like some hubris. Like Chris Cuomo thinks he's so substantial, you know what I mean? And probably Andrew does as well. They're like, we're like two of the most famous guys ever. Like if if you come out as a Republican and I'm still running as a Democrat and we're brothers, I'm fucked. It's like, realistically, I don't think people would care that much, but I still think that's the reasoning. Cause like before this recent mayoral run, if you listen to Chris Cuomo on like Andrew Cuomo's mayoral run, if you listen to Chris Cuomo like last year, for example, second half of last year on News Nation, I think it's called. It's just right wing. It's just propaganda. It's just like Fox News Light or something. So it's pretty obvious that he was like becoming a conservative. He went on PBD. He went on a bunch of conservative podcasts, and so it was pretty obvious what he was doing, what kind of grift he was running. And now he just feels that to protect his brother, he has to pretend to be a Democrat, but all he can do as a Democrat is say Trump is right about this and AOC is the problem. Like, completely deranged, completely like, I don't think anyone's gonna buy that, like, oh yeah, the problem is that AOC has too much power and she's messing it all up for us. Like, even like the most diehard Hillary Clinton, like if we're talking about Democrats, right? Because obviously Republicans will believe anything, but I think at least with Democrats, the average Democrat voter would understand that AOC is not the one with power in the party or in the institutions, right? And that blaming her for stuff, like singling her out and going on these tirades claiming she's the problem, it doesn't really make sense. I think, as deranged and loony as Democratic voters can be, I think they like at least understand, their own party, like to the extent of like who has power in the party and who's making decisions in the government. I'm pretty sure they know it's not AOC. So this is just all very funny.
Democrat, as he just sucks off the right all day long and defends Trump's illegal bombing of Iran.
AOC is betraying the American people because she's playing petty politics with impeachment, which can't happen.
It's not petty politics with impeachment when Trump directly violated the Constitution and waged an illegal and offensive strike against a country that didn't attack us. That is.
How is it not petty politics to attack a congressperson and say she's not a real Democrat while you support what Trump is doing? Like, what the hell?
Is the correct time to impeach. By the way, you see AOC doing this, even if you don't agree with her doing it on this particular issue, which you should. You don't see, for example, his scam meme coin where he ripped off his own supporters. You don't see that as impeachment worthy. You don't see his dozens of violations of the emoluments clause as impeachment worthy, where he's got these massively corrupt deals with Israel and Saudi Arabia and foreign billionaires. You don't see any of that as impeachment worthy. How dare this fucking guy, bro? The number of things that Trump has done that are impeachment worthy are literally through the roof. This is a guy who was charged with 91 crimes. He tried to steal the last election. And you just let it slide, bro. Because, we'd be abusing impeachment if we tried to actually stop the guy who tried to destroy our democracy. I can't stand this guy.
Which arguably shouldn't happen. High crime or misdemeanor, what would it be? Treason, bribery, what? That he didn't follow the law?
Waging an illegal war. What's the problem with that, bro? Being the most corrupt president in American history. What's the problem with that, bro?
Congress abdicated its power to president after president after president.
And they were wrong to do so. That's the point. That's the point. Just because a trend started a while ago of doing wildly unconstitutional things doesn't mean we need to lay down in a chalk outline of ourselves on the ground and say, go ahead and shit on the Constitution some more. Oh, my God.
You don't even have a good case. I think there is a case, but I don't think it's a great case. And I think politically it's a non-issue. It's never going to happen. You are the one who abandoned your constituents. You are the one who betrayed America One by...
I love that. She's abandoning her constituents by doing exactly what the constituents want.
Is it bad that when he says you abandoned your constituents, all I can think of is that he means you abandon Israel or AIPAC or something? Like, that's all I hear when he says to AOC, you abandon your constituents, is you're not Islamophobic enough. You're not like Israel enough, Like, you abandon Israel. Like, that's what I hear. Like, that's just, it almost feels like a dog whistle for that. It's crazy.
You go look at the polls. What percentage of Democratic voters think Trump should be impeached? That is a sky-high number, y'all.
In the 20 of every 80-20 issue and showing that you're not...
Which I was going to say is the real reason he's mad, because impeachment is really popular among Democrats. And so it is obviously the right thing to try for, and AOC's trying to do it, and it's making her even more popular, and he hates that, If it wasn't popular, he wouldn't be saying anything. He'd just be letting her make mistakes, but because she's doing the right thing and it's good for her, he hates it.
Not even close to being in touch with the majority in this country.
Oh my God.
But that you are openly socialistic in a capitalistic society.
Imagine pretending you're a Democrat, and while we have...
You mean like MLK? You mean like Einstein? You mean, I don't know, like the Dalai Lama? All socialists? Like, what are we saying? He would have been saying the same shit about MLK in the 60s. It probably would have been worse. There would have been like more overt racism with it and stuff probably, but yeah, very strange, very inexplicable behavior.
Have a literal fascist oligarch robber baron
Also, just to be clear, AOC doesn't even talk about being a socialist. I feel like Zohran talks about it a little more, which is why this is also very obviously passive aggression against Zohran.
Billionaire takeover, you're whining about socialists.
Because yeah, at a time when 95% of the new income in is going to the top 0.1%, and three guys in America control more wealth than like most Americans combined. You're gonna say that like one because one congressperson says that she's a socialist, that's like the that's the problem. That's our problem. Insane. Completely insane. And like obviously he can't be seen as directly attacking Zoran. Like if he just came out and crashed out like this over Zoran, everyone would know, like, shut up, dude. You're doing the same thing you did at CNN, where your media platform is just there to help your brother kind of thing. Like everyone would recognize that, especially because of his past. So if he can't attack Zoran, the next best thing to do is attack AOC. And it's I mean, I hope he just has advisors who don't care about him and are telling him to do this, because nobody's going to respect him if he keeps doing this and they don't care. They just hope he takes down AOC or something. Because, like, if he actually thinks this is good, then, like, I'm really worried about the mental health of just anyone, any establishment Democrat type. I'm just really worried about their mental health, because I don't see how you could genuinely think like Bernie and AOC are the two most popular politicians in the country. They're the socialists. Like attacking them, especially from the point of view of I'm a Democrat, I'm a Democrat. I just hate everything that Democrats like. It's like such a stupid position to take.
It's like all these assholes attacking Zohran Mamdani as Trump is literally trying to make this country commit national suicide with his big, beautiful bill, which destroys Medicaid, massive tax cuts for the rich, gives like tax breaks for fucking.
Yeah, this Chris Cuomo would have been in Nazi Germany, like whining, saying, I'm a liberal and I'm scared of the communists. I'm glad Hitler's getting rid of them. Like that's what he would be saying in Nazi Germany, just like for just a little bit of perspective, right? Never mind what, like I said, he would have said about MLK in the 60s, right? It's it's pretty easy to see these things.
Yachts and private jets, literally trying to break this country in two, and instead of talking about the fascists destroying everything, you're attacking Zohran Mamdani. That's who this, like these, we gotta purge the party of these assholes, bro. I mean, look, within a year, his grift will be out in the open. It happened with all of them, right? Dave Rubin went from, I'm the last liberal left, to, yeah, I support Trump and I'm a right winger. It happens with all these assholes. But let's speed that process up, because I'm not playing this game with you anymore where you think you're the Democratic base.
Again, I'm surprised Cal doesn't just acknowledge obviously Chris Cuomo is not going to openly be right-wing Republican Trump supporter while his brother is trying to run for mayor or whatever, while his brother has political ambitions within the Democratic Party. He just won't do it. So you can't speed it up. I mean, the way to speed up Chris Cuomo coming out as a Republican is just to make sure Andrew Cuomo's career as a Democratic politician is finished. Like, that's what you have to do. Because until it is, he's just going to keep pretending he's the Democrat to, help his brother.
You're the whisperer of the Democratic base, when AOC is on the 80% of the 80-20 issues, and you're not, even though you're pretending you are.
You are way too comforting to extremism on the Islamist radical spectrum.
Oh my God. In other words,
Islamist?
you criticize Israel because they murder babies. I'm going to recategorize that and pretend like you're pro-Hamas.
Islamist?
You're against
I
waging
thought
an
we were
illegal and
talking
offensive
about-
war against Iran. Therefore, you...
Wasn't the problem that it's socialism or something? Why is he AOC's an Islamist now? Where did this come? This is just completely unprompted. No just is it like literal lunacy? Like literally, I'm scared. I'm like worried about these people for their own health. Like, what's going on, man? Are you okay?
support Islamism. Do we even need to
sound
continue?
okay.
Like, why am I even watching this? This guy's a joke.
This would be like if I heard like my grandfather talking like this, I'd be like, oh man, he needs to see a doc. Like he's losing it. He's just rambling about Islamist, like AOC. Okay, I've never heard AOC say anything about Islam, but okay.
Comforting, way too accommodating, and that is the signature issue.
I love the fake
He's a
dramatic
Fox News
zoom-ins
grandpa.
as Chris Cuomo's ranting against AOC. We all know why your butt hurt, dog. We all know your pathetic brother lost to Zohran, and AOC helped Zohran win. We all get it. It's personal. We get it. But it's very fucking transparent what you're doing, bro.
And if you were going to find a second one, you're still betraying.
See, I think this is part of the thing about stupid, like narcissistic type people who have like a really high self-image, but they're also stupid, is like they can't help but underestimate the intelligence of other people. It's like the same way the Democrats have just been, on the issue of Israel, broadly speaking. It's like they're stupid, and so they can't imagine that people are going to be smarter than them. And so they say a bunch of stupid shit expecting it like, oh yeah, people are even stupider than me. And it's like, no, like you don't know you're stupid, and so you also don't know that most people are smarter than you, and that this is not gonna sell.
Your constituents, and you are not doing right by them. One, they don't give a shit about impeaching Trump for something that worked, that helps.
He said something that worked. Literally all the reporting says they did not get Iran's enriched uranium. All of the reporting says that. And now, by the way, Chris.
Also, if you're a real reporter, you'd bring up the fact that Biden vetoed this same thing. Like Netanyahu wanted to bomb Iran's nuclear facilities during the Biden administration, and Biden kept vetoing it. He would, as terrible as Biden was on many issues of foreign policy, that was one line of just blatant illegality and warmongering that he was not willing to cross. So it's also pretty funny in that context to be like, I'm the Democrat guy, and I support Trump's thing that Biden wouldn't even fucking touch like a couple of years ago.
It's much more likely Iran's going to make a nuke now because they know, hey, we were just fucked with by Israel and the U.S. We weren't doing anything wrong. We weren't harming anybody. We weren't attacking anybody. They attacked us. So now, how do we protect ourselves? Well, nobody fucks with Kim Jong-un because he has a nuke. So as soon as we have a nuke, Israel can't attack us anymore. The U.S. can't attack us anymore. The policy you're advocating for leads to the exact opposite of what you want.
Keep at bay a terroristic organization that wants to kill them. Young Alexandra, you are missing that this is going to be the issue. Terror.
Also, it's Alexandria. It's not Alexandria. Like, why can't these weird old white Democrats say anyone's name who's not a white guy? You know what I mean? Like, they literally can't. They can't get Zohran's name right. They can't even get AOC's name right. Like, it took them a while to get Kamala's name right. Like, it's really embarrassing.
Is back, and you're on the wrong side of it.
If you're talking about terrorism and you're not bringing up the Israeli government, you are a total hack. You're a total hack. That's where the real terrorism is happening on a daily fucking basis. Murdering babies, bombing babies, starving them, not allowing in food, luring them to humanitarian sites, then killing them as they wait for flour. The flour they do hand out to the few people who get it is laced with oxycodone. I mean, we don't need to listen anymore. This is humiliating. Homie looks like he's got roid rage. Dude, just pick a different field.
Dude, that's what I was thinking this whole time. He's so podcast bro coded with his like, I'm a Democrat, but actually I'm just an old roided up red-faced white guy screaming about how the left ruins everything. It's like, yeah, you're a Democrat. That's what Democrats are now. We definitely believe you. It's very roid rage pilled.
Politics is not for you. I know you're a hanger-on. I know your brother's in the field. I know your daddy was in the field. This is not for you, dog. This is not for you. And by the way, this is how you know he's a weak-willed person. So he went into the PBD atmosphere, the environment over there, the culture over there, as like, oh yeah, I'm a Democrat, bro. My whole family's Democrats, bro. I'm like left-leaning, bro. He spent like a year in that environment, and all of a sudden now he sounds like he's to the right of them? And by the way, a lot of this is audience feedback, right? He's audience captured because the PBD crowd is generally very right wing. And so when he's the only left-leaning person on one of those panels and he says something and everybody in the comments is making fun of him and ripping him a new asshole because he's not right wing, he responded to that incentive structure because he has no real values, he has no real beliefs, he has no real policy preferences. And he said, okay, is this the slop you guys want me to feed you? I'll feed it to you. Here, I'll do a fucking 20-minute rant against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and act like she's the problem when she's the fucking solution. God damn it. So sick of these charlatans. Why should anybody listen to this guy about anything? They shouldn't.
Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And
that was pretty embarrassing.
Right,
I have
now.
quite a bit of secondhand embarrassment going on right now because that was really pathetic. That was kind of hilarious, though. So unhinged. Like I said, are people gonna buy the idea that AOC is... Like, I don't even think that people buy the idea that Iran is, like, a threat to, like, New York or, like, America in general. But even if they do, will they then buy that AOC is the problem? Even more unlikely. Especially, like, this is a time when the Democratic leadership's approval rating is like below 20%. Like the House Democrats as a collective, like their approval ratings at historic lows, right? So I don't know. It just seems super out of touch and almost like wish casting. Like he's trying to manufacture opinions. He doesn't like represent opinions anyone has. He's just spouting the opinions he'd like people to have, but like nobody does. So yeah, Democrats aren't going to buy this, right? It's only right-wingers who are going to buy this. And then like, does that help with his brother's campaign? It doesn't really seem like it.